So now that we're more familiar with the Resolve color interface, I want to pause for a second and show you how to open up our example projects so that you can kind of get your hands dirty and start messing with things in the next few lessons. Because in the next couple lessons, we're going to be talking about some kind of higher level concepts, and it's really good to kind of grab sliders and play around with things as you learn them. So if you already have Resolve open, you might have a blank project open or maybe something else you've been working on. But let's go ahead and open up the same project here. Let's go down to our project manager. That's this little house icon down here. And you should see a window something like this. If you've been working in Resolve, you probably have your other projects here, but you can right click anywhere in the blank space and select Restore Project Archive. Now navigate to the work files and links, which you should have downloaded from the site, and find something called procolorworkfiles.dra. Select that and go ahead and hit open. You can also double click the DRA in the Finder or Explorer to just open it up here in Resolve, but that should load up our project here. We can double click on it and it should open up. If we go over to the media pool, we see we have two major projects here. We have Smoked Cheesecake and Tuesday on Earth. And each folder is going to have two timelines. One of them is Start and the other one is Casey's Grade. Casey's Grade will be the finished product of what we make here during the training. Of course, I'm recording this and I don't have a time machine, so it isn't there yet. But the Start timeline should be all ungraded clips. So if you want to poke around at kind of where we're going, you can open up the Casey's Grade. If you want to do stuff yourself, double click on the Start timeline. I'm going to be working on a version of this timeline from Tuesday on Earth, and I'll have some basic color correction on it just so we aren't looking at these kind of ugly, gray, untouched images for our entire training. But the big key here is don't be nervous. Don't be afraid to grab a slider and drag it back and forth, move things around and break stuff, because you can really only mess something up so much, and you can always just right click here in the node graph and say reset all grades and nodes for whatever shot you're on. And the very, very worst case scenario, if you just ruin things, you can always go back to your project manager, right click, and restore the project archive again, because this is always going to be a copy. It's always going to be a backup of what we're doing. And so we can just import this again, maybe name it a new version name and hit OK. And now you can go right back to the untouched project. Like I said, in the next couple lessons, we're going to be going over our color scopes, as well as some details on nodes and some strategies for color management. And while we're going through this, if you see me grab a slider and move it around, or even go into some part of the interface you've never been before, feel free to poke around and break things because that's how you learn.